What's up guys, Alex Diamond here, new video, new reaction, so let's go. So in this video we're gonna watch what the fuck was just seen from space. Elon running for president. And Glaze, Mr. Beast. What the I don't understand. Let's go.
Week. A 19-year-old American pilot has been detained in Antarctica, and now they won't let him leave. 27 children are missing after an all-girls summer camp was swept away by one of the worst floods Texas has seen in years. Elon Musk has officially announced that he's starting his own political party to rival both the Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, I thought he would want to be a president. Nothing surprising me.
This picture is somehow actually real and was taken by an astronaut in the International
Is this a lightning, like in space?
Space Station, and China's new idea for construction sites is genius. We are covering all of that and so much more, so subscribe to get the empire to 1 million and let's get
Let's get my channel to 1 million. Problems with the head.
Okay, I really need to just vent in today's first story because if this isn't one of the most wild things I've ever covered. So this week, I got off the phone with someone that is currently detained in Antarctica. Now, never in my life did I even think that I would speak to someone while they were on that strange continent, let alone be arrested there. And straight up, there's no way of sugarcoating this. It is not looking good for him. And he may be stranded there for the next 3 months in peak winter for what happened. Now, you may already know who Ethan is. He's got over 1 million followers. But for anyone that doesn't, he is trying to raise over $1 million for cancer research by becoming the first person ever to fly to all 7 continents solo. Now, he's currently on day 360 plus, and he only has 1 continent left.
How old is he? Like seriously, you know?
Left. And that one is the one that he's currently detained on. Antarctica. And if you're thinking, kind of like I did when he first mentioned it, detained by who? Who has the legal authority? No one owns it. Well, that's where things get crazy. So let me run through this. On the 28th of June, Ethan takes off from Chile and was heading to Argentina when he says the weather conditions got so bad he had to declare an emergency and divert to land at Tennant Marsh, which is a public airfield in Antarctica. And in his mind, he said that he's only had to declare an emergency landing like 3 or 4 times, but every time he has, it's been no more than like a 5-minute conversation. So he said, okay, hopefully it'll be the same with this one. And initially, it seemed like it was going to be because he was met by a fire response team who, after a short conversation, few questions, and an hour later, they came back and said that he was cleared to take off again, but he should file a new flight plan with the control tower. However, before he could, not long later, another group of people, this time dressed in all black clothing, approached him and said he was under arrest. He would only later find out that this was the Chilean Navy. They searched his plane, they then took it and put it into a hangar, and later that night, after arresting him, they read him his rights, took his phone, strip searched him, and then placed him in a room under guard supervision and did not allow him to contact the consulate or use Wi-Fi. He says they didn't allow—
Weird. Why? Like, what they hiding there, huh?
allow him to give evidence to justify why he landed there. And he said that they gave him a lawyer that didn't speak English. So, real helpful. Now here is where things get crazy because Chile, upon a bit of research, they've been trying to claim that piece of land that he's landed on since 1940. But under the Antarctic Treaty, which they then signed in 1961, no one can claim sovereignty over Antarctica. A little bit off topic, but that's actually soon going to expire. I think it's like 2040 something, and Lord knows what's going to happen.
2040, and we'll know what they're hiding in Antarctica.
Once that does. But anyway, because Chile signed the Antarctic Treaty, that means that they shouldn't actually have the legal authority to detain anyone there. Because if they agreed, yeah, this isn't our land, we can't claim it, but then proceed to detain someone and then apply Chilean law to someone outside of Chile, would that not be a violation of that treaty and therefore international law? I'm not even mentioning another factor, which in the aviation world, if you have to land during an emergency, it typically grants you immunity from all laws and repercussions pending an investigation. And that's why there is now speculation by some that the Chilean authorities could be using Ethan to set a legal precedent, because by pursuing these charges under Chilean law, they are essentially asserting territorial authority over that base, saying, hey, none of you are allowed to land here. Now, from their perspective, they are saying that Ethan lied about the emergency, and they referenced his social media posts about, his goal to land on all 7 continents. And then they used this as evidence of intent and said that, he was actually lying about it. And then if that was the case, you would have no legal basis for landing there. They also said that Ethan's actions triggered a search and rescue operation, which wasted time and resources. But here's where things get even worse. Ethan said that they've now put a travel ban on him, and they said that he's not allowed to leave the country of Chile for 90 days, and the next case that he can go on is August the 11th. So they're saying that he can essentially leave Antarctica back to Chile, but they won't let him fly his plane, and there's no boats or planes going back to Chile for months. So they're saying you can go until your next, case, but they know he can't go anywhere. So now he's stuck there in Antarctica, peak winter, just chilling in some Navy barracks, just hoping and praying that his legal team can get him out somehow. And potentially one of the most annoying and frustrating parts about this is that he would have completed his full 7 continents after this, because all he needed to do was head back to Tennessee. And then, bam, over. But now, wow, what a complicated last step. But at least he's got his phone back. So I'll keep speaking with him and getting updates, on his situation. And then when I do, you'll get the updates too. But with all that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comments on that one, and moving on. Also, I wanted to cover this one really quickly. Mr. Beast tweeted last night saying, quote, "It's kind of crazy the amount of good we've been able to do through a YouTube channel," then proceeds to list out some insane statistics. 23 million trees planted, 33 pounds of trash from the ocean, 10 million meals to people in need, 500,000 people getting water from our wells that we built, $3 million to war refugees for supplies, $1 million of clothes to people in need, 20,000 shoes to kids in Africa, 3,000 people helped walk again, 1,000 deaf people that can hear again, 1,000 blind people that can see, 100 houses for homeless people. Oh, and at the end, he says over $50 million given to people, not including the stuff listed above, all while still in my 20s. Come on. That is pretty damn impressive. And of course, you head into the comments of all the vast...
Lucky bastard. YouTube made him rich.
Majority is positive. You always have those people, right? And you had a few people saying, it's just for his ego and to make his brand look good. And I thought, okay, you know what? In fact, let's just entertain this idea for a second. If that is the result of his ego and, him just trying to look good, then keep going. I don't think the fish give a
foreign casserole
how the trash leaves the ocean, just the fact that it has. I mean, the whole point is that if the end result is good, the starving person gets fed, then who cares? Certainly not the person who needed the help. Anyway, I thought that...
Yeah, even if he's doing this only for money and fame, it doesn't matter. He's doing something. That's what is matter.
Good work like this deserves a bit of glazing and some highlighting on the channel, because that is the stuff that we really need to focus on. I'll bring you a lot of bad news. I ain't gonna lie. So this is just my contribution to level balanced, as all things should be.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Thanos, what a guy, actually. Reminds me a lot of our next person. Moving on. Okay, now it's officially happened. Yep. I didn't think it actually would, but Elon Musk has officially announced that he is starting yet another venture. As if sending up rockets into space and giving the entire world satellite internet connectivity and running the world's most valuable car company wasn't enough. Well, he's now starting a political party.
Yep.
Oh, Elon, was your venture into politics not painful enough? We saw you get broken down. But I guess not, because he announced on X, quote, "When it comes to bankrupting our country with waste and graft, we've lived in a one-party system, not a democracy. Today, the America Party is formed to give you back your freedom." Now, this is, of course, in response to Trump signing the big, beautiful bill, which I spoke about on Saturday's video. So if you want that explained and all of that, go watch that video. But true to his word, before that bill was signed, Elon tweeted that the day after it actually went official, that he would start his own political party. Here we are. And he also said on the same day as that tweet, and let's see if he'll stick to this one, "Every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their heads in shame. And they will lose their primary next year if it's the last thing I do on this earth." So, bro is apparently coming back into politics with a vengeance. Now, we can't verify if Elon's party has been formally registered with the US election authorities yet, but either way, Elon wasn't born in the United States, so he can't head this thing and run for president. So this would certainly be a very behind the...
Yeah, it's true. Like he was not born, only born people, men, women who is born in America can become a president. Not a foreigner.
The scenes kind of running it, and it'd be very interesting to see who he puts as the head. But he's already reposting tweets like this. "America Party will be focused on reducing debt, responsible spending only, modernizing military with AI and robotics, pro-tech, accelerate to win in AI, less regulations across the board, but especially in energy, free speech, pro-natalist, and centrist policies everywhere else." And it seems like actually the national debt issue was the biggest thing for Elon. Because remember, this is the guy that was dancing with Donald Trump on stage and spent over $250 million of his own money to get him elected. But now suddenly, like not even a few months later, he's now creating his own party to rival everything that Donald Trump is standing for. And I think this is probably the best video to watch as to perhaps why he's done this.
I really want to emphasize to people that this is a very important point. If we don't solve the deficit, there won't be money for medical care. There won't be money for Social Security. We either solve the deficit or all we'll be doing is paying debt. So it's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no Social Security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
So basically, he goes on to say that, you know, if the ship sinks, then everyone goes down with it. It doesn't matter whether you're Republican, Democrat, everyone should be focused on America as the ship. And so I guess Elon seems to believe that the national debt is that thing that will sink the ship entirely. But for context, as I said in the previous video, every single president since all the way back in like the 1920s has increased the debt ceiling because every administration is spending more than they bring in. But not only that, but if Elon's party actually does run, they are facing close to impossible odds of actually defeating both the Democrats and Republicans, because the last time the US had a neither Republican or Democrat president was Millard Fillmore in 1850. Yo, that's why he's now saying, you know, it's just a one-party system, basically. But who knows? You know, we are living through unprecedented times all the time nowadays, so maybe America Party can be the new one. But what do you think? Does this party pose a serious threat, or is it just gonna get swiped away like every other party that is tried?
Swiped away.
Before. Moving on. Okay, also, we have got some seriously concerning news coming out of Texas right now. The death toll for the floods that started on the 4th of July has reached a staggering 51, and 15 of those are children. What makes it worse is that 27 other children are still missing at the time of recording, and search and rescue efforts are heading into their 3rd day. So, what the hell happened? Well, on Friday, just before the 4th of July weekend, when everyone was out and doing things, there was heavy torrential rainfall that caused the Guadalupe River to rise, and I cannot stress this enough, 23 feet in less than 2 hours. Now that is staggering, and less than 2 hours is being conservative. A lot of the actual rising of it happened in under an hour, and only when you actually see videos of this does it really emphasize and put into context how insane these numbers are. The start of this video was taken at 5:15 p.m. The end of it is only 45 minutes later, and just look at how quickly that rises. This one is even crazier. So this is a video taken by Scribnibbit on YouTube, and it shows the view from a bridge with the water down below starting at like not more than like a bit of a stream, and then only 37 minutes later, not only has the water reached the height of the bridge, which when you're looking down it was pretty damn high to start off with, but it also is bringing along entire houses in under an hour.
There's a cat.
Someone loses the house.
And so that is why things have ended so tragically when it comes to these summer camps along that river. In particular, a Christian all-girls camp called Camp Mystic, which was located along that Guadalupe River. And there are even videos, this is just wild, of entire cabins being swept away while the people and children are still inside. That's how quickly this happened. You're sleeping 1 minute and you don't even have time to leave before your cabin is being swept away. As of right now of recording, 27 of these children, many of them are still under 12 years old, are missing, and authorities have pledged that they will not rest until all of the missing have been found. They assured the parents, who are honestly currently facing probably their worst nightmare, that they will look for their children, quote, 24/7, looking under every tree, turning over every rock, whatever it takes. And unfortunately, these missing children aren't the only ones affected by this tragedy, because some parts of Texas saw more than a month's rain in just a few hours. Dozens, as I mentioned in the beginning, have died. More than 850 have been rescued. The damage is just immense. And then, to make it even worse, forecasters are now warning that Central Texas may see even more flooding this weekend. So, with all of that being said, keep your thoughts with the parents who are having to just wonder if their child is still alive right now, and let's move on. These are today's 3 sacrificial lambs that will go on our whip wall. Always remember, they hurt so that you are reminded to subscribe to the channel. Oh, I'm looking extra evil today and threatening under this lighting. Subscribe!
No. No.
The channel!
Never.
Oh, and I also almost forgot. I did promise that because I was late on the last video, I would get whippings too. You might only see this once in your life, so
Let's go.
enjoy it. Subscribe!
Oh my god.
The channel! That was all on the ass. It was supposed to be on the back. I think it's time for some extremely extra with a little bit of sugar in it. America has had its 4th of July celebrations, and what the flippin' is going on here? It looks like Earth was seeing the little, humanity's version of something cool in the sky, and they said, ha! Watch this. It just looks chaotic to the eye. I'm not even gonna lie. So much is going on. Back it up, Terry and family had their own float on the 4th of July parade.
Bagel Terry? Put it in reverse, Terry! Put it in reverse! Oh, Lord, please!
Trump signed the big beautiful bill with B-2 bombers flying over the White House. And a mass casualty event was declared in Lake Martin, Alabama after a massive explosion of fireworks just erupted at a barge. You knew it was gonna happen. It was gonna happen at some point. Next! Bro, I thought that Alligator Alcatraz was a name that people were like just throwing on it because it sounded cool. I didn't know that was actually what it was gonna be called. But apparently it is, because they're now, this is a video of them putting up road signage with the name on it. Alligator Alcatraz, I guess it's official. Next! Now, who hates construction sites? But who loves the beautiful buildings that come from construction sites? I do too. Well, for the people that I don't even know where I was going with that. Point is, China has just unveiled the largest inflatable dome. You've probably never seen this before. I haven't. That goes over a construction site while the project is being built. It is 50 meters tall, 20,000 meters squared, and apparently creates a cleaner, quieter building site that minimizes the surrounding impacts on the community and the environment. And not only is it nicer for everyone around them, but also for the construction workers themselves. There are sprinkler facilities to control the dust that they would otherwise be breathing in. It's temperature controlled, and 4 large fans on the north side apparently create nice bit of ventilation. And the material that goes over the top blocks out 90% of UV rays from the sun. Not bad. Next. Also this week, footballer Thomas Partey has been charged with 5 counts of and 1 count of assault. For those unfamiliar with Thomas Partey, he signed with Arsenal in 2020 for like 45 million, and he instantly became the most expensive Ghanaian player of all time. But then this week, it's all falling apart because these 5 charges are said to involve 3 women and allegedly took place between 2021 and 2022. So, key detail is while playing for Arsenal. And that's another huge part of all of this because it's not only him that's getting a massive backlash, it's Arsenal.
Yeah, but where is the proof? Like, seriously, everybody can say I'm harassment or something like that. So, without proof, he's no guilty.
Themselves, because they would have been informed that Thomas was under investigation all the way back in 2022. And now that the news has finally come out to say that, that player that was under investigation was Thomas Partey, a lot of people are getting real angry online saying you knew and you chose to play him as well. Others are defending and saying, he hasn't been proven to be guilty, so destroying his career over allegations alone,
like,
or
if
charges.
If not exist proofs, so you can not say that the man is guilty. Everybody can say something like you do that, but where is the proof?
Alone now, I guess, wouldn't be fair. But Thomas is now expected to appear in court on August the 5th. So we'll have more updates after that. Next. And then for our last story, man. When I first saw this picture, I scrolled actually, because I was like, I ain't dealing with some more AI generated pictures that are misleading.
Corn casserole.
But then I saw it again and found out that it was real. Oh my gosh. So apparently this week, an astronaut named Nicole Ayers managed to take this picture of I don't even know what you describe it as, a strange light phenomenon happening over a thunderstorm that was hitting Mexico and the US. And the image shows something that's called a sprite, which is a rare group of electrical events known as transient luminous events. TLEs for short. Now these TLEs apparently happen much higher above thunderstorms, much higher than regular lightning that we've all seen, like the 4th of July one. So high, in fact, that you can't usually see it from the ground. But from space, you can. So the chances of, an astronaut to be looking with a camera ready to do it is just like so minimal. It just looks like a weird alien planet, but the Earth, it really is a weird alien planet. All of the stuff that we've just covered in 1 week suggests that the world is a weird alien planet, and you might not have known any of it if you weren't a loyal citizen of the Empire. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's roundup. I hope you have a great
Yeah, I enjoy when you beat yourself. It was delightful. So thank you for watching this, guys. Subscribe, comment, and see you in the next video.